I didn't realize I was holding on to my past until I couldn't move forward without letting go. In this video, I'm going to walk you through exactly how I downsized my entire life at age 49, from a 2,000 square foot home to just 900 square feet, without losing the memories that actually matter. I am giving you today my exact 5-phase system: what worked, what didn't, what surprised me, and the emotional traps that almost stopped me completely. And if you're in midlife, empty nest, or just staring at your house thinking, how did we accumulate this much stuff? This video is really going to hit home for you. And stay with me, because the biggest mindset shift, the one that finally managed to break my emotional attachment to things, it didn't happen until the very end. Hey everyone, my name is Leslie. Welcome to Middle Life Adventures. If you're new here, welcome. Please hit subscribe, it helps me out a ton. So there I was, standing in my house, surrounded by stuff. Bins, closets, drawers, storage boxes, all seemingly labeled miscellaneous, which is code for I have no idea what's in here, I'm too afraid to look. And in my hand, a tiny ski jacket from when one of my kids was, 11? And I caught myself thinking, what if they need this someday? And I just froze. Because deep down, I knew that jacket wasn't about skiing, it was about time. That jacket represented family trips, cold mornings, laughing on chairlifts, hot chocolate after a long day. And in that moment, I realized something that changed everything for me personally. I wasn't holding on to the jacket. I was holding on to the version of my life that came with that jacket. And that's when it hit me. If I don't learn how to let this go, I'm going to stay stuck in a life that doesn't exist anymore. Midlife does something to you. It really forces you to confront reality. Your kids grow up, your routines change, your house feels different, quieter, and suddenly you're left with a space full of things that belong to a life you're no longer living. So here's the question I had to face, and maybe you do too. Is all of this stuff supporting my next chapter? Or is it silently keeping me stuck in the last one? So we made the decision. 2,000 square feet down to 900. The kids moved out, went to college, got married. The two of us did not need that big house. Now let me translate that kind of a home dimension shift for you. That's not decluttering anymore. That's a full identity shift. That's looking at nearly everything you own and then deciding, does this come with me into my next life? And I knew one thing: if I approached this emotionally, I would fail. So I built myself a system. 5 phases. Structured, repeatable, ruthlessly honest. And I'm giving you the entire blueprint in this video. Phase 1, the first deep purge. This is not about perfection. This is about momentum. Because the biggest mistake people make, they try to make every decision emotionally perfect, and they burn out fast. Rule 1, unused equals gone. If I hadn't used it in 5 or more years, it was gone. No debate, no but what ifs, no maybe someday, gone. Rule 2, the kids' reality check. If my kids were not realistically going to come back to pick this item up and take it to their new home, it was gone. And let's be honest, your adult kids are not coming back for preteen ski jackets, elementary school art projects in bulk, random sports gear from hobbies they quit. They just aren't. We keep things as though our kids are going to walk back in the front door someday and say, "Mom, do you still have my grade 6 volcano project?" No, they're not. I'll give you some examples of what I'm talking about here. The gone pile. Camping gear we hadn't touched in years. golf clubs collecting dust, old dish sets for special occasions that never actually came, duplicate kitchen gadgets, random cords. Why do we all have a drawer of mystery cords? Here's what I did differently. I didn't aim for emotional closure with these items. I aimed for visible progress. Every bag filled, every box donated, built momentum with it. But let's be honest, phase 1, that's the easy part. The easy pickings is stuff to lighten the pile with. But phase 2, that's where the emotions start to fight back. Phase 2 is what I call the emotional zones. It's the one where people stop. Kids' rooms, living room, memory-heavy spaces. I told my kids, you have a window. Come take what matters to you. But here's the truth. It's not your job to store their memories forever. Some of my decluttering targets for this phase were things like VHS tapes we never watch. We don't even have a VHS player anymore, so I don't know why we still have the tapes. Games missing pieces. Decor that won't fit our new space, literally. Furniture that made a lot of sense in a big house, but not anymore. Walls full of framed photos. And here's a hard one. You don't need 47 framed memories to prove you had a life. Keeping everything does not honor those memories. It dilutes them. When everything is special, nothing is. Here's a tactical tip for some memory preservation. Instead of keeping everything, take photos of sentimental items. Create one memory box per child. Digitize that old media. Keep the memory, release the clutter. But then comes phase 3. The place where dreams go to hide. The someday graveyard. This phase exposed me. Outdoor gear, hobbies, projects I was definitely going to get back to. Here's the truth bomb though. If you haven't used it, you're not going to. And honestly, that's really not failure at all. It's called evolution. I found things and thought to myself, wow, I remember the person who bought this because it wasn't me anymore. Unused sports equipment, top of my target list in this phase. Outdoor decor you're tired of. Half-finished DIY projects. Duplicate tools. Letting go of these items is letting go of pressure. Try to see it that way. Pressure to become someone you just aren't anymore. Now, phase 4, oh yeah, that one gets personal. Your personal reset. Your clothes, your bedroom, and yes, your daily environment. Now, as far as that clothing is concerned, if you haven't worn it in a year, because let's be honest, a year covers all 4 seasons, it doesn't belong in your current life anymore. Not your past body, not your goal body, your now body. Clothes should fit your life, not guilt you into changing it. You do not need 12 sheet sets of bedding, 40 towels, backups for your backups. Keep what you use, release the rest. Now here's a high value tip for the next one. Old phones and electronics, if you've got those, these are important to be handled right. Do not toss these casually, please, for your own safety. Here's what to do with those. Back up your data, factory reset your device, remove your SIM card, log out of all accounts, even change your passwords, and take them to a certified e-waste recycling. Protect your identity. Reduce your clutter. And then we hit the final phase, the one that changes everything, the full house sweep. You go through everything again. Yes, I said it again. Here's my reasoning behind this one. By now, you're not the same person you were when you hit phase 1. You've built detachment, you've built some clarity, and now you've got confidence in your decluttering system and abilities. You're a well-oiled decluttering machine at this phase. Now you've got 3 questions you're going to ask for each and every item you encounter. Number one, have I used this in the last 9 months? Number 2, do I own more than one of these items? And number 3, this is the killer, do I actually go looking for this item specifically? If the answer is no, it goes. No hesitation. What I found in phase 5 is things that I had refused to let go of earlier felt easy to release now. The passage of time really helped, and just building up that memory and getting good at that emotional detachment just was the little push I needed to get it done. When it comes to decluttering and releasing those personal items, exposure reduces that emotional charge. Repetition builds up that detachment. Time also creates clarity. Do this once a year, every single year, and something for you will shift. You stop accumulating emotionally. Spring cleaning isn't just about your house. It's about your life. New season, new energy. And clutter blocks energy. Mentally, emotionally, and physically. Here's what hoarders taught me. It's not about the stuff. It was never about the stuff. It's all about the fear. Fear of forgetting. Fear of losing. Fear of letting go. But letting go of things does not erase your life. It makes room for it. Now ask yourself this. Would I buy this again today? If not, why are you keeping it? Now, 66% of those of you watching today are actually not subscribed to my channel, and that blows my mind. If even 10% of you subscribed, this channel would explode, and we can help so many more people declutter their homes, reset their lives, navigate midlife with some clarity. If this helped, if you're ready to move forward instead of staying stuck, hit subscribe and join this community, because you're not alone in this. Now, in our next exciting video, I'm breaking down the exact mistakes that keep people stuck in their clutter cycles, even when they think they're making progress. And trust me, you're probably doing at least one of them. Let go of this stuff, keep those memories, step into your next life, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.